News.
Crushed by a crumbling coastline, two more victims of that bluff collapse in Encinitas died in the hospital tonight, making it now 3 lives lost. The collapse happened just before 3 o'clock, right at the end of Neptune Avenue, near the well-known Grandview staircase.
We have team coverage. Let's begin with 10 News reporter Anthony Purra. He's live in Encinitas, where officials have closed public access to the bluffs. Anthony.
Well, that's right. Public access to those
Shock and disbelief along this popular stretch of coastline. Sky 10 flew over the rubble where a large chunk of the bluffs suddenly collapsed, killing a woman on scene. 2 other people rushed to the hospital, but doctors couldn't save their lives. 2 others had minor injuries.
Just fell off, and sadly there was a few people sitting underneath it.
Witnesses nearby reacted immediately and tried to help.
Crowd trying to, actually get the rocks away from.
About a quarter-mile away, South Ponto Beach packed with people, startled when emergency crews began bringing out the injured.
Chaos. A lot of people didn't know what was going on.
Rescue crews closed the beach for hours, bringing dogs and heavy machinery in a desperate search for anyone else under the dense, heavy rocks.
Everybody goes down on the beach every day, and I saw people crying because they're like, well, I was just down there 10 minutes.
There was no rhyme or reason to the tragedy, according to officials, as the coastlines naturally erode.
The area are really worried about that's what I heard, about all the houses on the coastline, that the ocean takes it back.
And that was Anthony Purra reporting. We turn now to 10 News reporter Matt Boone, who is live outside Scripps La Jolla, where one of the victims had been transported to. Matt.
Lindsay, one was taken here, another was taken to Scripps in Encinitas. Right now, we still don't know much about any of the victims other than 2 more now have passed away.
First responders were able to take one of the critically injured patients off the beach and onto the 101, placing the victim onto a helicopter. That victim was taken to Scripps La Jolla's trauma center, where they died from their injuries. 2 other patients were taken by ambulance to the hospital as beachgoers watched in shock.
They were on the back of trucks, and there were 3 different trucks that looked like they were carrying. 2 were men, and one had kind of an IV, and another one was being worked on by trying to get a heartbeat.
One of those victims had critical injuries and also passed away. In front of Scripps La Jolla, a crowd began to gather outside. Several of them were Santee firefighters who said they were there for support. The collapse itself was about 25 feet wide and extended about 30 feet from the bluff. Rescuers estimating the pile of debris was about 10 feet at the highest. In total, they say some 20 cubic yards of rock fell from the cliff, the equivalent of several falling cars.
And because of this, officials tonight are taking the opportunity to warn beachgoers to make sure that they give themselves at least 20 to 40 feet of space between themselves and those bluffs. Obviously, this a tragic example of what happens if you get too close. Reporting live tonight in UTC, Matt Boone, 10 News.